What is it with the word art? Define art.
Sometimes it can be this big word. Yeah, and it's an evaluation people put on it for a start. I mean, it can be. I mean, I've seen acting that's definitely not art, you know.
Yeah. What side are you on?
I'm trying to United Nations.
I just want to know how you define art.
I don't define it. I think it's an evaluation. It's like beautiful or something. You decide what it is. Right. I think it's subjective. I think it's something you evaluate.
Why do you think? Do you think it's not art? Do you think it's a craft?
I think it's a craft. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, Nick, but I don't know. I try to come at it from a point of view that I need a writer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about interpretive as a verse.
Exactly.
Yes, but I understand your point.
So screenplay writing.
Oh, no, any writer. I mean, we start with a book.
Right.
You know, how many of things do we get that come from these great books?
Yeah.
But somebody else did it.
But
Somebody
what about
else
your
set the parameters. Your interpretations are going to have to fall within certain parameters set up by the writer.
But isn't there music within you that compels you to speak the words a certain way?
Absolutely.
Could that not be art?
No. Well, now wait a minute. You're going to back me to a corner, make me lie.
I'm not trying to make you. I'm not trying.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
But
in order to defend myself,
I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I'm trying to learn something.
I am.
Okay.
Trying to be right or wrong.
See, when I see a great violinist like Hilary Hahn and I listen to her play Bach, I know she's an artist. She's interpretive, but she's an artist because the way she's playing Bach, that's her unique connection.
I have no argument with you on that.
I would think that it's the result that makes the art and not necessarily the process that leads to it. So when Hilary plays Bach, that's the music, and what you receive is the art. That's one of the biggest problems of the actor, because the piece of art, the person, you know, in the end, and the performance and everything that leads up to it is so difficult to separate from each other.
Why do they call it performing arts? I mean, for example, when she plays, isn't she channeling something in her imagination to hit the notes in such a way that makes it unique unto her own interpretation?
The technique is the craft. It's the individual qualities that make the art. You can tell a story. How many stories? There are only so many stories in the world.
No,
but
so many plots, a lot of stories.
That's true. But you can tell it. You can take a plot. No, you're right. But you can take a plot. You can tell that plot. Create that plot over and over again. It just depends on someone who does it artfully. First of all, it has to be. In order for it to be art, it has to be truthful. Secondly, it has to be individually truthful. And it's that true individuality and that real truth that makes it art.
But there are so many happy accidents that happen in between the lines that are uniquely Morgan Freeman. You know, I've seen him do things where I'm like, wow, where did that come from? And I know where it came from. It came from the imagination, his own personal relationship with the cosmos. So that, to me, is undeniable. So you can't, I'm not going to denigrate acting and say it's less or it's not, because it is. You have those moments where your whole instrument is your mind and your body. No, we're not hiding behind guitars. It's us. So I have to, you know, I have to respect that.
Sorry, I'm not doing that.
I mean, it depends on the situation. I mean, with certain directors, you want to scream, and you can scream and say, "Look, forget it. It's not going to happen. That's it. That's a repellent idea. You know, it's just not. It doesn't behoove the situation. It doesn't behoove your film. So I'm not doing it." And then other times, it's simply a discussion, or it's okay, let's do one this way, let's do one that way.
And
I mean, that's the beauty of film.
Other time you say, okay, if that's what you want, I'll do it.
That's what you want, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I always try to fit in the context and the vision of the director, but what I like to say is, look, let me do two. I come in the morning, I'm like, I'm ready, let's do 2 takes, and then please, if you come in and start sculpting, but let me get this out, what I've already got in my head, what's organic. so many directors are so arrogant, you know, and because they feel, you know, because of their position, and that's what, you know, for example, Klaus Kinski, who Werner Herzog has a legacy with, was very frustrated with the arrogance. We always hear Werner's side of the story about how he talks about Klaus was this and Klaus was that, but you never get to hear Klaus's side of the story, and he's no longer with us.
Yeah. Or watch the movie where they.
Yes, no doubt.
I mean, Werner and I must be, you know, for a guy that worked with Klaus Kinski, who was a great actor, I was doing a scene. It was my second day of shooting, and I had whatever I had to do with. We all know the imagination, the preparation to think I was on cocaine. I was a little bottle of inositol, which is baby powder. I'm snorting that. I'm psyching up, and he comes up and he says, "Now, Nicholas, what is in that vial?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? After 4 hours of this, you're going to actually ask me that and take me out of my preparation?" I'm like, "It's Coke!" You know, it's like, how could you would think the director would understand the actor's process and give us the space and the room to do what it is we need to do.
But some people also need, and I am not one of those people. Some people need conflict in order to feel that they need to create. You know, they have to have the conflict to create. Now, it's an age-old sort of, what's the word I want? I mean, it's
conundrum?
Huh?
Conundrum?
No, it's
It's
useless. Keep going. And we need a writer. Yeah. I think there are elements of discomfort without question in this movie. The Lovely Bones that I did. I mean, it was arguably the most uncomfortable I had become in order to get what I wanted, and I frankly couldn't wait for it to be over. But I don't think that it's necessarily something that, particularly as you get older, you realize the energy that you have to spend becoming uncomfortable isn't as much as you think.
Or also, you don't want someone provoking you into it. No. I mean, I'll deal with my discomfort. If I want to be off center for something, let me handle that for myself. And also, it's a collaboration. So what you need to psych yourself up for a take isn't necessarily going to help everyone else who is in the same moment having to get themselves prepared.
Right.
You know,
everybody. There are other people in the movie.
And to me, you know, the best directors are the people that just make it conducive for everyone's imagination.
Morgan, do you really have directors getting in your way and trying to tell?
I have had, and the most notorious are writer directors, people who have written the script because they know all the parts, they know exactly how they want it played, and I can't.
I mean, that is real arrogance, because if you walked on a set, I would think everyone would be just like, let Morgan Freeman do whatever he feels he needs to do.
I had writer director to call me to the side and say, let's do one more. And this time, I want to say, you fucking up your script.
Yeah. No, I
was acting with an actress once who's like one of the best actors I've ever acted with my entire life. And the director kept stopping her and having her do it again. And so on a line, stopping her and having her do it again, stopping her, having her do it again. And it was like somebody I really admired. And for a minute, I couldn't believe she was doing it. And then I saw her realize, why am I doing this? And then she just kind of stopped and went, no, I'm sorry. I just kind of walked away. And I went, right, because it's like we all kind of realize, because as an actor, that doesn't happen that often. But when it does, it almost takes a minute for it to go like, wait, that thing's happening to me. It's somebody has their hand up my ass.
Right. And
this isn't right. Like I don't like this. That's a funny feeling. I got to walk away. Yeah.
What was that quote, Marlon Brando quote? Just because they say action doesn't mean you have to do anything.
I'm a firm believer in that. Yeah, me too. I've had these writer directors, look on a little monitor,
standing in front of you and looking at a monitor,
and say, don't you get a reaction? Don't you have a reaction to that?
They said that. Let's see the.
I did react. Well, I didn't see. Well, wait till you see it 30 feet high. Then you.